Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Breakdown. I'm your host, Falcon Fan 1414.
And I'm Childish Landino Chronicles.
Today, for episode 2, we decided to talk about what would have been year 3 for Lego Dimensions. Basically, Lego Dimensions franchises, franchises that Lego Dimensions wanted to use in year 3 that never came to light.
Mhm.
We're going to be going over those, picking which ones we think Lego should revisit today, and which ones we think Lego could actually revisit today.
Right. And again, this is no insider information. This is nothing like confirmation that these are coming. It's pure speculation on both of our parts of just what we would like to see.
Just a lot of fun, you know?
You know?
But first, before we do that, I want to say two big things happened since we last recorded. The first was the official Winnie the Pooh set reveal.
I think that's beautiful. Like for
I think
$100. Yeah.
that's like that and the Sesame Street set, I think, are two just like that. They're up there with the Friends sets as like probably my three. Like they're just perfect sets. I think the Winnie the Pooh set is fantastic.
Yeah, no. Just like how detailed the tree is, and like I don't know, just how like that just looks like straight out of like the little picture books. Like I don't know. That's awesome to me.
And I love it's like it's not like I one of the my favorite thing one of the I'm looking at pictures actually. So I think there's a lot of cool like little Easter eggs about it. First, I love the fact that we get 5 new molds.
Right.
Like before Sesame Street, new molds and ideas sets were rare, and now we get 5 of them. That's just nuts to me.
Right. I think they finally realized that like ideas is a big enough of a line that they can accommodate making a significant amount of new molds because they know those sets will sell.
And then like I also love like just the insane like little details, like the poo sticks.
The bees on the out coming out of the beehives, that's so cool.
Then I also love in the Pooh's little book.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but it says Ben A on it.
Isn't that the designer or the person who submitted it?
Yeah, the guy who submitted like whose project it was that got to 10K. Like that's just I don't know about you, but if that
Right.
ever happened to me, I would just be like, that's how you know you make it right there.
That's probably, I think that's the most direct like reference we've gotten to like a designer of an idea's submission, right? And like
Yeah.
okay.
And I'm
I would
curious if they're gonna like keep that up.
I think they should because I mean I think that's like a great way to just pay homage, even if it's just like a weird printed tile that's like, for the Back to the Future DeLorean, if it was like a weird printed tile that just went under the dashboard, just something to pay homage to the person who like created it.
I mean, I get it. Some sets might be a little harder, like the Seinfeld set might
Right.
be a little harder to do that with, but I think they should for most. Just kind of a way to, etch that person even more into like Lego's history.
Right. No, I think it's
And then I also love how in both the Sesame Street set and this set, there's always these little Easter eggs, like to characters that almost made the cut. I want to say,
right.
like for in Sesame Street, it was like with Grover and the Count.
Hmm.
Here in the Pooh set, it was with Owl. Like the on the map of 100 Acre Woods, his little tree.
Right.
I think that's really cool.
No, I agree. I like the little Easter eggs. I think that's probably like one of the cooler idea things about like these larger scale idea sets. I don't know. My girlfriend's getting it, so I get to be lucky enough that I don't have to physically buy it, but I get to see it and like, interact with it. But
See, like I love like franchises like that when Lego does it. Like I love like I'm on the older side. Like I'm an adult. Well,
right.
not like 40. I'm like 23. But um, wow, that's probably the first time I've actually mentioned my age. Whoops.
Age reveal, Falcon fan,
Age
age
reveal for
reveal.
Falcon. Um, and yeah, that we'll see how many people actually pay attention to the podcast if people bring that up when we post it. But like that's kind of like the thing. Like I love when Lego does like old school franchises that I didn't necessarily grow up with it, but like I know of it well
Right.
to the point where it's like, okay, I gotta buy that set.
Right.
Like I did that with Scooby Doo. Well, I did kind of grow up with Scooby Doo, but like I love when Lego uses their like obscurities to bring us licenses like that.
Hmm. No, like, it kind of pairs well with the dimensions theme that we're going for later in the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun.
On a mainstream note, though, all the Marvel leaks today were kind of insane. Like it was kind of wild to wake up to just being bombarded with like all of the descriptions, and then also the Carnage helmet, which I think, in my opinion, I almost want to break my Star Wars only like buying rule and buy this Carnage helmet, because like that is just so cool, and like I didn't think that they could do something that organic that
Yeah,
well.
and it makes me excited because it's like Marvel's getting 3 plus sets this year.
Right.
The Carnage helmet, a Venom helmet,
Mm-hmm.
which apparently does have his tongue, and I'm really curious to see how that looks, and the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
So if they could do the Infinity Gauntlet at that level, that's gonna look amazing.
Right.
But yeah, Promo Bricks went ahead and released a full article highlighting most of the sets coming
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of 2021. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
my
I don't it's not I don't want to get into that. Um but I'll put it like this. I'll put it like this. If you have been paying attention around the Lego community in like February, I want to say it was it was sometime in January or February. A certain new piece leaked
Mm-hmm.
for a certain Marvel character.
Yep.
If you know, you know.
Right.
I think it had to be February. Now that I'm thinking about it more, but
Yeah,
people
it was definitely like mid-February.
people were talking about, oh, when people heard that it wasn't in the sets, people
Right.
automatically went to the collectible minifigure series. The collectible minifigure series is due out in August.
Right.
This was February.
I will say though, they did pieces leaked out of like the factories. I think I can say that. Pieces leaked out of the factories for January 2020 sets in the summer of 2019. So like 6+ months out.
Yes, but those were not wait. Those appeared in August.
Yeah, it was the torso for one of the
No,
Mandalorian Warriors, and the
no,
Mandalorian.
it's the torso for the Mandalorian.
No, the torso for one of the Mandalorian Warriors also leaked.
Oh, I thought it was just but
Yeah, I think that might have been a random fluke though, but I think you're probably right. That
well, no. Is that torso leaked so early because of because the celebration, or not the celebration, the Force Friday or whatever that was.
Triple Force Friday.
Yeah.
No, there was a another torso. I remember I have the image saved with like the date it came out of the that I found it. And it was one of the torso pieces that was used for one of the Mandalorians that came out in the battle pack. And I remember talking with like a bunch of like I don't think we were as well acquainted at the time, and we were like, where does this fit in? Is this like a random resistance trooper thing? And we didn't find out until January of 2020. So I don't think that the piece you're referring to though is in the thing you're referring to. So, or the CMF, I
I
guess.
don't think it, I unless the information out there is completely wrong,
Right.
which I do not think it is because it makes too much goddamn sense to me.
Right.
And you know what I'm talking about. I
I know
told
what
you.
you're talking about.
I think we talked about. Yeah, I told you what it was. I told you Yeah, I told you what I meant before.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Here's a question though I have. The Sanctuary 2 set, it's $30?
Yes,
What is it? Is it like a microfighter?
I think it is. It's supposed to be like something small. Like, uh,
I
I
wonder,
think it just seems like honestly, it would not surprise me if that ended up somehow being like a convention exclusive.
that's what I was
I
gonna say. Like, is that a convention exclusive? Because that just seems weird for the
I
price.
maybe. I'm not 100% sure about that. But it seems like a goofy thing, like especially with like a mini figure Thanos
Right.
and Captain Marvel and just Iron Man. It's like it's a weird little set. It's a little goofy.
But is it like a cool Iron Man with like the Infinity Gauntlet and like the helmet off, or is it just like a, again, I don't know these things.
I mean, I assume that they're saving what the special Iron Man is going to be in the final battle set.
Oh, is he? Let me look at that. Oh yeah, he is in there. Yeah.
Yeah, because that set will be a bestseller.
Thanos with no helmet and rotatable head, Ant-Man microfigure, Captain America, Iron Man with Mark 85, Thor with long hair, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, and a Chitauri. It seems like they're throwing a lot of Chitauri in these sets.
I feel like it's just they wanted to give Chikatari like they need some sort of throwaway villain, and I guess they didn't want to do Outriders again.
I guess. Yeah, no. I'd rather have, I guess it's Chitari's like better. I know people like those a lot for like mocks and stuff more than they like the Outriders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but overall, I mean, I just think it's like that set is perfect because again, it's like it gives a lot of characters people have been wanting for a while,
Right.
and that's what I think is like a big turn from the for Lego Marvel. It's like the fact that they are revisiting it, and the fact that like they seem to want to not. I'll say listen to the fans and just give them what they want.
Right.
Like I don't know. Like I think Black Panther will look really cool. Kind of all and
I think it's cool that
I'm
we're
ex-
getting in. No, you can
sorry.
go ahead. You can go ahead.
I just think it's going to be really cool to see these sets are very exciting.
Yeah, I also think it's cool that we're getting another Nick Fury figure because we haven't gotten a Nick Fury in forever, and so it's cool that they're throwing him in an advent calendar because I feel
We
like
got him last summer.
really.
Yeah, Helicarrier.
Oh, I was thinking MCU though. MCU Nick Fury.
Then that was too far from home. But technically speaking, we did get that was an MCU Nick Fury because it was a repeat.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah,
gonna look this up. I'm so bad with Marvel.
that's what I'm here for. No, it's literally the same figure that was in the Spider Jet set or the Spider-Man Far From Home, like the biggest set,
Right,
like
with the
that
little with the
really
white jet.
weird Happy Hogan.
Yeah, the world's worst Happy Hogan. No, you're totally right. Yeah, that's the same. That's kind of whatever, but nah,
And I guarantee you it's gonna be that same Nick Fury.
probably. Be cool if
The
they gave.
big draw it's gonna be really two big draws for that set, and that's going to be the Christmas sweater Iron Man,
Mhm.
which I think is going to look very nice, even though apparently, according to promo breaks, it uses the square Equinox head or helmet.
The Square Equinox head and helmet.
Yeah, like the newer style, like the one piece.
Oh, not the flip up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the advent calendar, the thing that I think is cool is the Spider-Man that's included.
Well, yeah. I'd obviously be a fan of that based on my favorite
It's
Marvel.
literally yeah, it's literally like that Spider-Man. It's like the jacket. It's like it's really cool.
I would. That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be exciting to get.
That's I'm probably gonna have to buy that. Because I buy a lot of things Marvel. And even like the 4+ set is like I don't think it's bad either. Well, like it has the potential to be good.
Hmm.
It's like Captain America and a Hydra soldier. If they give us a good Captain America,
Depends on also the Hydra Soldier, because like I mean I know that's kind of like a more wanted fig. If they give us like a decent Hydra Soldier for $10, or is it like 10 or 15?
it's 10.
Yeah, $10 for like a solid Hydra figure. That's nothing to like be upset about, I guess.
Overall, like, there's not a lot to really complain about. I guess, like, I guess the ones, I don't know. I can't really think of like, I the complaints I've seen have been like more nitpicks than anything.
Yeah. Like what's the worst complaint you've seen so far? Because this is, in my opinion, the best Marvel wave I have seen. What I've been collecting in a hot minute.
Well, first of all, I will say I think this Marvel wave is the best wave of the summer,
Hmm.
best theme of the summer. Like, it beats out and I can tell you why it beats out Star Wars in my opinion, because like this doesn't have like a week set,
Right.
and I feel like in the Star Wars, like there's at least you can make the argument for 2 week sets.
The throne room and the slave one.
Well, I was gonna say okay, three.
Okay.
I was gonna say that ITT, like that's not, it doesn't have the best minifigure selection.
You really should have just thrown in the blue fish guy with that set.
Yeah, like that, and then you have the slave one,
Hmm.
which is just like I feel like they would have done it differently if Book of Boba wasn't coming out.
Right.
And then the throne room, which will probably just I don't know. The throne room I don't think is a bad set, at least from the description of it.
Right.
But like
I just know
it
we're just gonna get the same Ahsoka that we got in the AAT,
and
and
then just like a mall with that like we got in the book without like the like medallion or whatever that
right,
was.
slightly altered.
Yeah.
Um.
No, but this is like the like the set I think that you could say is probably the weakest
Right.
is the Black Panther set.
The Dragonfly. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
The Shuri figure. It was described by somebody on Instagram. It's cool that they used like the gamer girl or the coder girl hair from the CMF, but
Yeah.
again, it's the curse of like the license theme where they didn't give her leg printing apparently, so that kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, it's in the thing. Like those new like it's always I don't know. I don't really like to judge figures like that until you see the set.
I guess that's fair.
Because in the end I feel like people are kind of harsh critics on just like if you see like one figure.
Right.
I don't
But,
know.
but in the perspective of the whole set, it might not be too bad.
Yeah, like in
Yeah.
the perspective of the set, it's like it's a $20 you get a new Black Panther,
Right.
a new Shuri. It sounds like a cool looking vehicle if done correctly,
Right.
and then just like I guess an army builder.
Right. And I mean, yeah, no. I was gonna say something, but I can't. I don't know if it's something I can say or not, so I'm gonna not say it because I don't know if it's like if it's a if
Are you talking about the are you talking about Black Panther?
yes.
Yes, yeah, I don't think we should say that.
Okay, then I will
um
I'll stay hush hush on that.
just because like that needs a little bit more confirmation to me more than anything.
Right. Well, should we get
But
into the dimensions discussion?
yeah, but overall I will say I really hope that this continues because
Right.
even so, like this, like you're essentially opening up, like in a way, a great Pandora's box. Like you
Right.
have access to do so much now,
Right, because it shows that they're willing to go back and do old MCU stuff, which is just really cool.
and especially with the way, like this is probably the best I've seen people react to a theme in general in a long time.
Right.
Like even with like I'm trying to think. Like even with like the Star Wars reveals this year,
Right.
people they reacted to them okay, but it wasn't like this wasn't like it wasn't all this positivity.
Right.
And
What reveals are you talking about? The January Star Wars stuff?
no, the summer stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty
Like
positive.
like it's pretty positive, but like there's still like I guess I've been looking over the comments and stuff on like my Instagram posts and stuff like that, and people seem to generally like this, like seem to be more excited about this.
Right.
And also these posts are doing better in likes in terms of Star Wars. I don't know if that's just due to popularity or whatnot, or what my page is kind of based on, but
Right.
all right, yeah, I think we can get started though on this little thing that we have.
Alrighty. Well, I think most of at least my research that I did into this came from well, shout out to Ash and Flash and Just Too Good for where I got most of my talking points from this. So yeah, figure I'd give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, so for um for this, we're gonna go over some of the franchise, basically Lego Dimensions when it was prematurely canceled.
Mhm.
It was canceled early, and as a result of that, there were still a lot of franchises left that Lego had planned or at least thought about doing, strongly thought about doing, and they were just left on the table.
Right.
And because it was Lego Dimensions, a lot of them haven't seen the light of day yet. So we're gonna go through the different the themes that were like the different properties that were canceled, and talk about whether or not we think that they should be brought back or they should be, I guess, made in general, and if we see Lego actually making these.
Hmm.
So first one up, it was, I think I'm gonna assume all of these were year three. Some of them might not have, they might have been like year. I'm just gonna say they're all year three. The
Right.
first one up was a Universal Monsters pack.
Hmm.
This would have been based off the Universal Monsters franchise, and it would have included Frankenstein and the Mummy.
We did get brickheads based off of the Frankenstein with the Universal Monsters branding on it. So I mean, we have gotten like products for it, but nothing substantial, obviously.
Nothing minifigure related. For this, I would have. I'll say I would love if they do it.
Right.
And Mom, Monster Fighters was one of my favorite themes,
Right.
hands down. So this is kind of just like a licensed Monster Fighters.
Right. When they didn't have to just kind of like get around by using like a kind of the names, they could really just call this is Dracula, this is Frankenstein, this
Yeah.
is yeah.
And I don't know, like that's just, I guess that's kind of like homage to me in a way. But overall, I think that could be really cool, and I definitely would bring that back if I was Lego. What about you?
I think it would do well. I think you'd have to release it around Halloween, obviously. And I think they could do the way I see this, honestly, the best way of this being um kind of done is like $60 to $100 18 plus branded sets, and you release one or two every Halloween with like a different monster or something.
That would be cool to see, especially like I guess do like Frankenstein's lab. Like you could
Right.
do like a really detailed $100, $120, 18 plus lab set.
Right, because I don't think that these have the appeal enough to make it at like a Target or a Walmart, but I do think that like there is enough fans that they would do sell very well sold through like Lego privately or through like the adult section at a Target kind of a thing.
So now here the question is, do you think Lego will actually one day actually bring this franchise in if they were looking at it?
I think it's possible. I mean, I don't. I would give it like a 50% possibility.
For me, I would say yes, because I'm not going to use like percentages here, but I would say I think there's a chance that they could bring it back. There's a good chance that they could bring it because Lego loves the little monster types of themes. They love that. They love that stereotype, and especially if like Universal Monsters really comes back into popularity, I could see them jumping all over that train.
Right. No, especially if they did like a TV show or movie kind of tie-in type release, I definitely could see that.
All right, so next franchise up is actually a movie that is releasing this month, King Kong and Godzilla. It was supposed to be a team pack, I think. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
I genuinely thought that was like it was really funny seeing that. I'm like, oh, that's coming out this week. Very ironic. Yeah, no, I could totally see them doing something for that. Again, I think it would have to be in the 18 plus range. I don't think that they could do like a big series, but I think if you did a big brick built gorilla King Kong and a big brick built Godzilla, you could totally sell those. I mean, we saw the big Jurassic Park T-Rex. That set sold pretty well as far as I've understand. So I think you could 100% do that King Kong and Godzilla.
I would if I would 100% bring that in. I think that's something you could kind of do it. You could do it in a number of different ways that could be cool.
Mhm.
Like you could do it in one way, like how you're talking about, like maybe $120 plus giant brick built monsters.
Right.
And they could kind of be like the large, like I know Funko released like large giant, like
Yeah.
they're I don't know, like they're foot tall ones or whatever it
Yeah, they
is.
come in those giant boxes that take up like most of the shelf space.
Yeah, and like that, like I could see Lego doing that, and then I could also see Lego doing it in the original Duel on Mustafar's way.
Hmm.
Like you give us two minifigures, and you kind of give like a way that they can like battle each other, kind of like a Rock'em Sock'em Robots sort of way.
Okay. Okay, I
But
can see that.
sadly, I don't think Lego will ever do this.
No, I don't think there's a market for it.
Well, not only is there not a market, the perfect market exists right now.
Right.
Like, unless there's like a sequel, the perfect like it exists right now to make Kong versus Godzilla sets. You can market it with the movie,
Hmm.
but nope.
No, ship has sailed.
Next one up on the list is actually a video game franchise, Mega Man.
I could totally see this being again another 30-40 dollar one-off idea set, but I don't think it has enough of like a again, I'm not too familiar with Mega Man. I don't think it has the popularity to be a theme though with multiple sets. I think I could see like one or two sets released over a couple years, but that's about it.
See, and I want to like with Mega Man. I know Mega Man is like if it has its own pop. It's a I'm I want to make sure of this, but I'm pretty sure it's owned by Nintendo. Yeah, it is. It's a
Okay,
Nintendo video game.
sure.
So I definitely could see Lego tapping into this because they do have a good working partnership with Nintendo right now,
Right,
with the Super Mario sets selling very well.
right.
Um, but as cool, like I don't know enough about Mega Man to make any judgments on it, other than I think it'd be a cool figure. Um, but I think that they could do it, but I don't think it would be done for a while
No.
because I think it's going to be like there's other franchises outside of the Mario universe, like Zelda, stuff like that,
Hmm.
that they probably will tap into first before they do it.
Sonic has an idea set coming, right?
Yes, but that's
Like,
Sega.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So that's disappointing, but I'm actually excited to see that idea set out, especially the Dr. Eggman thing.
Right.
I think
No, I
that could
think
be
that'll be a
cool.
cool set.
So the next one up is actually something that Lego seems to love to do, but only for Comic-Con exclusive figures. They at some point had a plan to release a Aero and Flash CW team pack.
I think it would sell. Like I genuinely think that CW shows, because I know so many people like in my personal like friend circles and whatnot that love the CW shows. I think that you could release $20, $30 sets with the normal DC line, and I think that they would sell.
See, I think that like the fact that they've like you look at some of the I guess online forums and stuff like that when they released like Vixen or Black Lightning
Hmm.
or stuff like that, there people are genuinely like mad.
Right.
Like it's not in the way of like a Sheriff Deadpool where people are pissed off because it's like, okay, that's like it's Deadpool. Probably won't ever get Lego Deadpool again.
Right.
But this people were genuinely mad because it's like, why not just do a CW set?
Right.
If they're gonna do a CW set, I would totally see it being the Flash
Hmm.
because that's their most popular one right now.
Right.
And if only the DC franchise sold better, I could see like a $150 $150 like you Star Labs. Like that's the Flash's like headquarters basically.
I don't know. I can see it only being like a $20, $30 set. I don't think I could see it being big because I mean, like the Bat Center, like the mobile Bat Center, is not selling well from what I've seen and heard.
Well, I feel like it also if you were to make like a set on the CW, like
Right.
especially like a bigger set like that, you might have to brand it as 18 plus.
Yeah, I definitely think you would.
And I mean Lego has no problem branding stuff as 18 plus, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think that you could do that and then maybe raise the price so that like more or less like it's not just like Lego fans buying it. It's like comic fans, CW fans, like all of that.
Right.
Because they will eat up merch like that. Yeah, but I think Arrow it's a little too past its time.
Is Aero done? Like, is that show done?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it finished last year.
Okay.
So ultimately, like I don't think that they would do that. I think they would do the Flash and probably only the Flash right now.
Hmm.
Oh, the next franchise up is something that I've heard a lot of people talk about. Lego Shrek. Yes, at some point there was plans to make Lego Shrek.
I don't think I don't think that would do well. I think like I mean I'm 21, almost 22. You're 23. I think our generation grew up with Shrek, but I don't think the generation that is primarily marketed toward like Lego or Lego would market toward would buy Shrek, and I don't think that people our age would also buy an 18 plus Shrek set.
I must be like in the minority there because I would 100% buy that. I would buy that like day one. Like a Shrek swamp with like Fiona, Donkey, Puss.
Okay, okay, I'll give you that. I could see that. Basically, like the Winnie the Pooh set, but for Shrek.
It would be like it's not going to be something where they're like going to make a whole line of sets.
Sure.
It would be a one-off set,
Yeah.
and it would be like a one-off set, and I don't know, like I could see it doing really well. That's just my thinking.
I don't know. Maybe I don't. I guess I don't know. I don't see.
I don't
I
know
don't,
if the market's like it just depends on if the market's there.
right. Yeah, I think if they released a new Shrek movie, I think that's probably your best opportune time to do it. But yeah.
All right, so next is actually another DreamWorks animated property, How to Train Your Dragons.
Um, it's weird because I initially gut feeling no. I don't think this would do well. I don't think it would sell well. I don't think that like it would. But on the other side of that, I see so many of like the main dragon Toothless. I see so many mocks of Toothless being made. Like I see at least see like 3 a year.
And I mean, I guess like for me, I think it's like again, it might suffer the same problem as you were thinking with Shrek. It just might be a little too like granted it's a very successful franchise. It's a it was at the one point a very popular franchise, but the main movies are done for right now from my understanding.
Right.
So why would they go back?
I think at the time, and if you release it as like a $15 set for Lego Dimensions, I think it would do fine, and I think people would snatch that up 100%. But like, I think as like a current release thing, no, I don't see it.
I mean, people might buy it mainly because it's like, oh yeah, it's a dragon,
Right.
but I don't know. I can't see it doing too well. I don't know. That's my gut instinct there. It's like I think it could do okay,
Yeah.
but I don't think Lego would like that's the sad thing about Dimensions being canceled is if Lego decides, okay, I'm gonna do a one-off pack on our Brisky franchise. If it does well, great. If it does terrible, okay, like I can just write my losses.
Right.
Like literally, they wanted to, like the Melissa McCarthy level pack.
Yeah.
That's a terribly. But Lego like even though Dimensions was winding down, that was something where Lego could be like, okay, like I don't care very much because it's one.
Right.
It's one franchise. We just don't have to revisit it.
Right.
And that's why I think like that it's sad to be like, oh, like they kind of lose the opportunity to it's almost like a test subject in a way,
Right.
and they
Which
kind of lose that.
right, which is weird because I thought for sure when like the Portal pack was revealed and released and that thing sold like hotcakes just because people love Portal and they wanted the figure and they wanted the cube and whatnot. I was 100%. I was like, okay, so we're gonna get like a Portal set within the next year or two, and we never did. That was wild to me.
That's kind of why I think like I we actually like that's one of my biggest complaints. Like I feel like Lego is with ever since Dimensions has been canceled, Lego's kind of been afraid to take risks on franchises.
Right? They've been playing it safe.
They're playing it safe. Like I know people are going to be like, "Oh, but they did Winnie the Pooh, Sesame Street. They're doing Looney Tunes."
Right?
Those are all classic licenses.
Yeah. No, those have adult audiences. Like they can 100% sell those very, very easily.
Like that's something where you can like be like, "Okay, like it's going to sell." Like adults are going to buy like that. Like okay, I'll take the Sesame Street for example.
Hmm.
Adults are going to buy that because okay, I grew up with Sesame Street. It's like Lego freaking Elmo.
Right.
Like I'm gonna buy that no matter like that's just it's like I have money, I can do that.
Right.
Like it's a cool little in a way, like
Cool, cool little thing to pop on your
throwdown.
bookshelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's like with these franchises, it's like you feel like they're not gonna take that risk.
Right.
And you look at like I don't want to get into this now because I was going to actually include a franchise that's on our list later. But it's like you look at franchises now, it's like they don't really want to seem like they want to take a risk.
Right.
And I
Um,
guess that's a little sad to me
Right.
that like I wish Dimensions hadn't been canceled for the reason of okay, like you can't take these risks anymore.
Right. And I mean, not just from the licensing aspect, but from like I was a big fan when I was younger of like adventure themes like Power Miners and Aqua Raiders and Atlantis. And even nowadays you see that Legos like really like post Chima and stuff like in post dimensions, they're not looking to take risks on in-house themes either. They're playing it safe with Ninjago and City and whatnot.
And that's kind of like you see like when Lego steps out of their comfort zone in a safe way.
Hmm.
Like I'm trying to think of an example.
I think genuinely ideas and them doing these idea sets are them stepping out of their comfort zone in a safe way.
But that's to an extent.
Right.
And that's to a big extent because it's like as much this is just going to be me criticizing ideas for a second. As much as they're stepping out of their comfort zone with ideas, they're not.
Right. Because
Like
when it comes down to it, these are things that people did vote for.
no, not even like vote for it. Is you look at it, it's like none of these sets are quote unquote risky sets.
Right.
Like you, especially with like the licenses,
Home
like
Alone, that's gonna sell.
Winnie the Pooh, you know that's gonna sell.
Right.
Home Alone,
Right.
you know that's gonna sell.
I think the McAllister home is actually gonna be pretty sweet.
Seinfeld, you know that's a sitcom set. Sitcom sets sell the best for ideas.
Right.
And then you take a look at like Avatar. Avatar has a weird font, like a weird population, like weird numbers in terms of following.
Right.
Like, you know, it's like people love it,
Hmm.
but you don't know how many people love it.
Right.
I guess is the best way of putting that. I don't know if that made sense,
No, that does make sense. Like
but it's like I'm not.
it's difficult to quantify how many Avatar fans are like out there. How many fans of Avatar are out there that are willing to spend X amount of dollars for a Lego set?
But Avatar is kind of a bad. I don't want to use Avatar because of Nickelodeon has a historically bad reputation of like people don't like to work with Nickelodeon in terms of licensing stuff.
Well, let's use like Steven Universe. Like that's a theme that's coming up.
Okay, yeah, we'll do like sure, we can do it with Steven Universe. For me, Steven Universe, like that's a risk.
Right.
Like it's a risk in the way that it's a cartoon. It's finished net. Well, it was still going at the time, but it's like it's on cartoon. Like even Adventure Time.
Hmm.
Like I'm not talking about that really weird idea. Like that. It was actually a good idea set, but like no one's gonna want. Like I feel like they kind of misjudged that a little bit. Like they should have included some figures with that.
Right. They should have made the treehouse. Like that was an easy
Yeah,
move on my part and my idea, my mind.
but it's like they have these themes. It's like that could be a risk. You have good partners, and they just feel like they don't want to take the risk because just they don't trust it enough. And that's what Dimensions I felt like did is Dimensions allowed them to test it,
Right.
to almost be like test subjects in a way that it's not going to financially screw you if it fails.
Right. Because they're producing one set, like one $10 little like fun pack or level pack or whatever, and that's it.
Yeah.
Speaking of sets I don't think would do well, the next one, Croods, I don't think Croods would do well at all.
I forgot Croods existed until I saw like like all those promos when it was like over quarantine and stuff like that for that
Yeah.
new movie, and I'm just like, this seems like it's. I don't know if it's because I'm older, but this seems like it's the same reason why I didn't buy any of the troll sets. It's like
Or the minion sets.
I bought some of those. I liked those. They were fun.
They were. I mean, I think the most fun one is the giant minion buildables
Yeah.
because those seem kind of fun to just put out.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, like I'll explain why I like that. Like I like the Minions one because I grew up with Despicable Despicable Me 1 and Despicable Me 2, I think are good movies.
Those are good movies. I will give you that 100%.
Like after that, it gets way too minion centric. But
Right.
before they kind of started to like milk that cash cow too hard,
Right.
those were two good movies. And I like Gru as a character. So I did buy like the bike set and like the buildable minion set because I'm like, okay, like it's a dumb franchise, but it's still like I'll support dumb franchises like that I liked because I want to see Lego do more of those.
I think it's different. I think if they did Despicable Me, I think I'd be more on board. But the fact that they branded it as Minions was just kind of like meh for
Fun
me.
fact, they actually did plan to include Despicable Me 3 in Lego Dimensions Year 3. Or sorry,
Right.
they included just Despicable Me.
Right. It was going to be like a Gru and a Minion.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that was going to be a whole new aspect of the game, right? Like the weapons building and like the
Yeah.
customization.
I feel like that did not get off the ground well.
No.
But I would have loved to see like an actual like non-kid version of Gru.
Right. Like a true Steve Carell Gru.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. The next one I also don't get. Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants, I'm mixed.
I never read the books when I was like
I read the books.
I was more of a Diary of a Wimpy Kid guy myself, so I never went to the Captain Underpants.
I read the Captain Underpants. I bought like all of them, and I also bought like the Ricky. Oh my god, Ricky Ricotta and his Mighty Robot.
I have no idea what that is.
It's no, it's literally by the same author, Dave Pilkey, I think is his name.
Okay.
It's literally like about a mouse and a giant robot. But it's like I did grow up with that,
Sure.
and they actually made a movie about Captain Underpants recently,
Yeah, it had Kevin Hart in it.
and I'm not sure if that like is getting like a sequel or something, but I don't know that would be interesting. I honestly feel like they would do a brick built toilet. Like that's literally one of the bad guys in Captain Underpants is a brick built toilet,
Hmm.
and I could easily see that.
I don't know. I don't see it, I guess. But I mean, I think I get it because when this was meant to be in Dimensions, it was probably releasing with that movie in mind. So I get that, but I guess now I can't see it.
Man, a lot. It's kind of sad to see just how many of these like probably our only chance of getting it was probably with Dimensions.
Right.
Like you look like okay, I'll say like Looney Tunes was originally planned for it,
Hmm.
and they're doing a collectible minifigure series off it.
Right.
But it's like a lot of these just are like okay, like our next one, Tom and Jerry.
Right.
Like Tom and Jerry, that's kind of hard.
Right. Because how do you make a set off of that?
How do you make a set number like how do you make a relevant set off that?
Hmm.
Like
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
I
And
don't
then
think
you have like the fact that there was like a movie about it, and
oh
even though
you're
it's on,
talking you're talking about the Snyder cut.
God, imagine that made me laugh when I saw those memes. Like the people like the little kids turning on Tom and Jerry only to see Darkseid rip an Amazonian in half.
Right.
And it uses like that Wreck-It Ralph like girl on the iPad meme.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I guess we only have a few more franchises left. The next is the Smurfs.
I could see this doing kind of well.
I could see it. I could see it doing kind of well. Um, I don't know how they would do it, but I could see it doing kind of well.
I could do like a little Smurf village, like the little mushroom house that they had.
I feel like it would only be the Smurfs though that they do.
Right.
Sadly, I feel like they wouldn't do like a what's his name, Gargamel.
No. But the
Like I
cat.
would love to see Gargamel. That would be kind of funny. I think. Like I don't, but there's no like logical way with the height differential there. But I don't know. It would be. I feel like you would have to brand it as like an 18 plus set.
Right. It has to be like another ideas thing. I think that's again like the best way they can shoehorn it in is just somebody makes an ideas of like a Smurf village and it gets picked up.
The next two on our list are actually more British properties.
Mm-hmm.
Tintin and the Thunderbirds.
I can maybe see Tintin getting a set because we got like Steamboat Willie, which was kind of like an old, like based off of like black and white, kind of very older, television media kind of a thing. I can't see Thunderbirds though, especially because I had no idea what that was. Not
I
being from
barely knew about Tintin, and I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit too obscure.
right.
I
No.
don't know. So I will say, so now that we've gone through like I want to check my list again and see if there's anything others. I know that there were some planned like oh, sorry, we're missing one. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm. I think they could re-release that theme 100% as an 18 plus thing. There's such like a weird like cult following for that show and everything. They could 100% make like 2 or 3 large scale sets off of that and give us just like the main characters.
Like you could literally do just like a big oppa
Right.
and like maybe just like one of those fires. Like they could literally do re-release 2 sets.
And then just give us another $30 opposite.
Well, no, you could even take out the air temple that they did and do a big oppa and the fire like ship.
All right. Yeah, I can see that.
Done.
Done.
You can release the main characters in it. Done.
Yeah, no, I
But
can see that.
again, I feel like that's just the curse of Nickelodeon, and have apparently Nickelodeon's a pain in the ass to work with.
I couldn't see that though. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe I don't know. Maybe hey, I think iCarly would and Drake and Josh would be some great Lego sets. I think that we could get some solid sets out of those too. So I think Lego should partner with Nickelodeon again. Just throw my hat in the ring.
I would love to see that. I think Nickelodeon, like Jimmy Neutron, like
Ooh.
I, I'm trying to think of what other obscure things I grew up with.
I was more of a Cartoon Network fan, to be honest.
I liked like again like for me I grew up with like I'm trying to think like Cody and Kid Next Door I would love to see.
Ooh. Well,
But actually, I think that is a good transition to our next little fun part of this episode is we decided to both do a bunch of franchises that we think are obscure enough for dimensions that if Lego decided to do a year 4
mhm,
after releasing all of these, like the ones that they thought for year 3, what
mhm.
they could do for a year 4. What was your first pack you thought of?
I did 80s movies. I started off with that. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You get first you get a single pack of Ferris and you get the little float that he sings on. And then the second one would be Cameron and Sloane, and you get the little car,
I like that.
right?
Um, for me, the '80s movie I picked is Karate Kid.
Okay.
I my family recently rewatched Cobra Kai.
Hmm.
Such a good show, and I'm just like, I don't know. I That's such like an obscure thing. You could literally do like a Johnny Danny fun pack.
Right.
Like you could do like literally you could do Mr. Miyagi's like car, and then like maybe like a little Cobra build for
Hmm.
Johnny. Like that's an '80s movie I would love to see.
I also did The Breakfast Club. I did again two '80s movies that I have watched and kind of grown up watching. Breakfast Club would be a bit harder, just because like I don't think there's any recognizable vehicles. But I think that would be just like a cool like little location. You just get like the little library that they're stuck in, and you just get like maybe like two or three of the main characters.
I wonder how you would do that in like a build. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like I mean I think there was a car in that movie. I think there was
Just a single car.
yeah, there's at least one car in that movie. So I don't know. I don't know how you would do a build for the Breakfast Club, but I think that I don't know. I think it'd be a cool set or a cool theme to explore.
Okay, so the '80s, I decided to do. They love to do action, so I was thinking you can do Die Hard,
Ooh,
Nakatomi Plaza,
yep,
do a little build of that, and John McClane.
yeah, no, 100%. You give them like a little lighter piece.
Yep.
Yep, oh, 100%. Did you have any more '80s movies, or did you just do two as well?
I just well, I thought some I thought of were like Nightmare on Elm Street,
Okay,
like The Terminator.
Terminator would do. I think would do well. You get like Schwarzenegger, and you get like the motorcycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I had for '80s movies. I only really did two.
For live action, I had Indiana Jones. I think that'd be a great. I think that would be great for Dimensions. I think they've already done Indiana Jones in video games. They already probably had some of the models coded. I think you could just do like again, there's so many vehicles in that. You could do like the plane from the first one. You could do, you know, the blimp from the second one. You oh no, the third one. Yeah. You could do the tank from the third one. I don't know. I think there's a lot of possibilities with Indiana Jones.
I could definitely see Indiana like I don't know, like I would love to see like Indiana Jones done as like sets, and I think it will be whenever they decide to come back to it. You know, or whenever that next movie's supposed to be.
Right.
Um I'm trying to think. Hang on. For live action movies, um what did I do? What did I do? Sorry, hang on. I gotta pull something up.
That's
Gotta make
okay.
sure. Um I guess I want to see when this released. Hang on.
Well, you're looking it up. My other live action movie that I came up with was Dune. Um, I know there's also like the new Dune movie coming out. You could do like a sandworm and like a main character from that. I think that'd be really cool. Um, I don't know. I think it would do really well. There's like a really big following for Dune.
Yeah, and I heard people were not happy that released that's releasing on HBO Max, I think
Right.
still.
Yeah. No, people are not happy about it.
Um oh my so for live action movies, I was thinking of I don't know if they would ever do this, but because it's rated R, but 21 Jump Street.
That'd be kind of funny.
Just Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum.
Right.
I would love, love, love to see that.
No, I think that'd be very funny.
That would, I think, be really cool. And I want to. This is kind of, I guess, the '80s a little bit, but like like the clown,
Ooh, Pennywise. I could totally see Pennywise with, like a
Pennywise. That would be
balloon,
cool.
like a balloon build or something.
Yeah,
I mean, going along with that too, you could also do oh my god, it was just in my head and I totally forgot it. Um Never mind, we'll come back to it if it comes back to me.
yeah. Um, what about animated?
Animated movies, like kids movies, I did something that was very fun to my childhood. I did Over the Hedge. Um, I think you could do like a lot of really funny like little builds with that. I don't know. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, you could do like the like Hammy and his that's his name, right?
Yeah, the
The
squirrel. Yeah.
squirrel and like the energy drink or something like that.
Right, you could do the raccoon in the cooler or like the exterminator in his truck.
That would be so cool.
I'd be so. I just again, I grew up with that movie. That was one of my favorites. Flushed Away would also be cool for that.
I wasn't a not my really forte there.
Oh, okay.
Never really saw that. Um, I guess the animated movies I picked, I actually did DreamWorks. I did Kung Fu Panda.
I can see that.
Like me and my family weirdly quote that movie, but it's like that would be we need a Jack Black character in Lego.
We don't have one yet, do we?
No. I feel like that's a crime against nature right there.
Agreed.
And then I thought about like that there's just so many like different like really like one of it I thought was hoodwinked.
No, I remember that. I remember that.
God, I loved that movie. And like
I never watched it because I didn't like the animation style on it.
it's such a bad animation style, but it's like uh I loved that movie so much. It's such like it's one of those guilty pleasures.
Right. You got nostalgia for it. I
Like
understand.
like I have a couple weird like that's a topic for a different time, but it's like weird guilty pleasure stuff. So yeah, but for me like hoodwinked that would be fun. You could do like Monsters Inc. You could just do a lot of different things. That'd be a lot of fun.
I also thought if we were going for more like the contemporary animated movies, Secret Life of Pets, because I know that was really popular when that movie came out. I think the Dimensions was also coming out around that time. I think that would have done pretty well.
You could do it based on like Sing.
Right, Sing, that was also at that top point too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like again, there's a lot of like fun franchises Lego could have given us.
Did you have anything for classic animation?
Um, classic and I think what? Hang on. Do you have any?
Yeah, I did Akira, which is I don't know, I think it's like it's an anime technically. But it was from the 80s. It was like one of the first I'm pretty sure, again, I don't watch anime. I'm not super well versed in anime, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the first anime that really got popular in like the US. It's based off that like red motorcycle. I don't know if you've ever seen that, like builds of that go around like mocks.
Nope.
Okay. But I don't know. I think you get like the main character of that and then like that cool red motorcycle build. And then also Land Before Time, just because I grew up with that. You could do some like cool dinosaur builds.
I think you could. I'm trying to think. Like, what are some? Like I. Oh, like I guess one of the things was like a Charlie Brown.
Oh, okay.
That would be fun to see.
Yeah, Snoopy with his little doghouse.
Like Charlie Brown with like his kite.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. It's like there's a lot of it where it's just like I'm literally looking at it now just for fun, like random one-off franchises Lego could do.
Right.
Like that. I'm like, okay, Wreck It Ralph.
Oh, that would do well. I think that's technically Disney. No, is that Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Disney though. The Dimensions wouldn't do that.
Well, Dimensions only didn't do Disney because of the fact that what you call it,
Disney Infinity.
yeah,
Yeah, but they had Pirates of the Caribbean planned for Dimensions, right?
yeah, that was early on, like before Disney Infinity.
Mm,
Like that was something like that was like I think that was year one,
oh, okay.
if I'm not mistaken. Because I know that yeah. There was actually, you know what was funny? I don't know if you saw this when you were looking at Ash and Justin's things, but like there was a lot of like extra characters we didn't get. Like they had plans for more Adventure Time stuff.
Yeah,
Like I think that would have been cool to get like an Ice King one.
right,
I don't know. I just feel like there is definitely a lot of things that they missed out on by canceling Dimensions.
right,
I get it, Dimensions didn't sell, and I definitely feel like the technology, like I guess it will be something to look at if Mario runs into a wall.
hmm,
Is because right now Mario Cell is the best selling Lego technology thing like they've ever done.
right,
Like it's the only one that actually hasn't bombed.
right. They've renewed it for multiple years, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like it's something where they have like a hidden gem in that.
right,
But you wonder if it if the Mario, like, I guess Mario like, I don't want to say fatigue, but like the fact that it's like, okay, we have Lego Mario. Once that kind of dies down, if like if Lego, like, I guess to see how how it sells still,
right,
and you'll know when it starts to sell bad when Lego decides to switch over a little bit.
right,
Like once they start to do minifigures, you'll know, okay, like unless they do like it being like a D to C or a CMF,
hmm,
you'll know, okay, the technology part's probably not doing as well as it wanted to.
right,
Because I get it. I get why they would do the technology part first, if we're being honest.
right. Because they know that minifigure Mario sets would probably sell, but if they push the technology stuff first, those will sell first.
Yeah.
Because the technology aspect of Mario is what Nintendo wanted, right?
No, no. Other way
Oh,
around.
Lego wanted the technology part, and Nintendo was like, "Nah, you can just do the figs."
Yeah. Nintendo's like, we're okay with just figs. And Lego's like, well, we're gonna do this. We want to do this. And I know that, like, I thought it was always funny, like looking back at it now, people thought the Mario costumes were the like Mario Big Fig, like that Mario Big Fig, like that was what the $10 sets were.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'm just like looking back at it now, I'm like, wow, how things can change from. Actually, it was probably April. It's probably like a month, like almost like less than a month, I think, till Mario was
Revealed.
officially revealed.
Yeah, it was this time last year, I think.
Actually, I wonder when. I want to look at that. I'm gonna go on my Instagram for a second. That's made me curious. But again, I feel like I don't know. I feel like they could have done Dimensions in a way that didn't rely on technology, like rely on the video game so much that would have made it sell better.
Right.
I don't know what that would have been, but
I think focusing more on like the collectability aspect, and so you didn't just focus as much on the game, but you could also just try to net as many people who wanted just like the figures and the builds.
and then I guess that kind of comes into play. Like, oh, are you really paying like 100 or like $15 for one figure that you want?
Right.
And then again, like you can't sell those like individual figures for just like $5 a pop.
Right.
I don't know. It's a hard like I feel like Lego definitely just has to figure out something
Hmm.
that they could do for that where they can expand on franchises and you know, oh my god, it was 1 year ago today.
That that the Mario sets were like revealed.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh
I
yeah, there you go.
wow, okay. So 1 year ago yesterday, the Star Wars helmets were revealed, and
Hmm.
then uh yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
March 10th.
March 10th, and then March 12th there was a wow,
Yep, I'm looking at your Instagram right now.
jeez,
Remember this time? This time, like last year, it was post New York Toy Fair.
yeah.
We
We
were
didn't
just
get we didn't get a lot at that toy fair.
no, we got the Spider-Man set, we got the Razor Crest, we got Dio, collectible series
Well, actually,
20.
wait, that we got a lot of sets looking at that. Wow,
Yeah, and
I
they
actually
also
missed toys.
there's also some like reveal, like not revealed, but like some people gave us some behind the scenes look at the sets.
Yeah, that's. I remember I got excited for a second when like how do you pronounce like Zussenberg? You know the website that
Yeah,
puts
Zeus and Bot or
yeah,
whatever.
like they were revealing stuff about that. Uh, and this year, and I thought, oh, there's actually Toy Fair, but nope.
Nope, that was a little prank for some reason.
Yeah,
That was mean. That was not. That was that was just mean.
yeah, that and geez, I'm looking at it. It's like, huh, man, how much a year changes, you know?
Right? Especially this year.
Yeah, especially like I don't know. It's like it's nuts.
Hey, in a year's time, we could have yet another dimension scene come through.
Like you could just have like I'm gonna I don't know why, mainly because I'm here. Just gonna scroll through my Instagram for a second. I know
Right.
this is a little off topic, but this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So with this Instagram, my first thing was geez, it only got 270 likes. Oh, wow, that shows you how far it's come. It was the Far From Home sets.
Oh
Then
yeah.
there's also one of my first posts is the little teaser that they did for Hidden Side
Yeah.
at the toy fair.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Flintstones teaser, the Toy Story 4 sets, the Infinity War stuff, or sorry, Endgame stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, it's like just looking back at it, I remember like how excited it was. Like there's one for like the piano.
Right. I'm looking at it here. One of your posts from April 11th of 2019. Um, it was revealed Loki, WandaVision, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's nuts. And then like whoa, and then the May 26th one, the there will be a new Lego game announced at like E3.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like the rumored to be the new Star Wars game. We haven't even gotten that released yet.
Sadly not.
That's just nuts.
That's just nuts. All right. Well, should we call the episode here, Falcon?
Yeah, I think we should. That was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank y'all for listening. Really appreciate it.
Hopefully you guys tune in next week where I think we plan on going into the ideas controversy a little bit more, so stay tuned for that.
Very excited.
And peace out, y'all.
All right. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.